In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the washer fluid reservoir on this BMW 328i. Let's get into it. We're going to remove the wheel, use a 17mm socket, take the lug bolts out. Once you get to the last one, just hold the wheel on so it doesn't fall. And slide off the wheel. I'm going to remove this screw using an 8mm socket. Underneath, we're going to take these screws out, use the same 8mm socket. Plastic nut right here. We're just going to use a 10mm socket. Take that off. Grab the panel and slide it out of the way. We're going to remove this screw. Use a T30 socket. Slide that out. It's just a plastic screw. Using a 10mm socket, take this nut out. There's some push pins on the side here. If you just take a little pin, you can push in the center, and then you can take a trim tool, pry those out. Pop those out. Take this bolt out, use the 8mm socket. I'll take these two screws out, use the 8mm socket. Just grab the panel. Slide it out, and it comes right out. We're going to remove these bolts using an 8mm socket. And take the top bolt out here, same 8mm socket. Using a 10mm socket, take this nut off. Underneath, we'll take these bolts out using an 8mm socket. And these two bolts as well. Grab this panel and just slide it right out. Take this bolt out, use a 10mm socket. And the whole reservoir is going to slide forward. You can access the connectors. Have a drain bucket underneath. Just going to push on that tab, slide that connector off. The lower one, you can pull the motor out a little bit. Push that tab, slide that off. Pop this wire retainer off. Just get underneath there with a trim tool. Disconnect the level sensor, just push down, slide that off. And the hoses, you can twist the hose so you can access it. There's a little clip here, get under the clip, and pop that off. Slide the hose off. You're gonna lose a little fluid. The other hose, just using a trim tool, I'm just gonna pop this other hose off. Slide up and out of the way. Reservoir, slide it back around. Connect the level sensor. Lock that down. The retainer, push that in. Twist the motors or the pumps. Get the lower hose on. Push that on. Connect the connector. Connect the upper pump connector. This wire or this hose. We're going to re-secure that lock on here. We can just push that onto the pump. Slip that in place. In like that. Take the hose retainers, slide those right there and up there. Pop the filler neck off that retainer right there. And we're going to take it off from up top. Using a pick, there's a little tab right here. Just push in on that tab. And this slides up. Grab the hose and just pull it through. You might have to push it from the bottom a little bit. And it slides right up. The new one, you slide it back down, same way the old one came up. I'd have to grab it from underneath a little bit. Twist it so it lines up with the bracket. And lock it down. Connect the hose to the reservoir. Lock that in place. And slide this into the retainer and lock it down. Now slide the retainers into the bracket for the wires. There and right there. Take the bolt, get that lined up, snug that down. Put this front inner fender well in, get that lined up. Started. Get these bolts started underneath. Tighten these down. Just snug. Put this bolt in, and we can tighten these down. Snug these down. And put this nut on. Snug that down. Slide the back panel in place. That lined up. And put these screws in. Get those started. This screw, get that lined up. Started. Take the push pin. You want to find the center pins. Get those started. Put the push pins in. And you can push down on the center. Do the same for the other two. I'm just using a socket just to push that in. That's good. Put this nut on. At this point, we'll snug it down. You can go back and snug the other 3 bolts down. Put this screw in place. Just snug it down. The shield, line this up, and get the bolts started. That nut on. With all those in place, then we'll tighten those down. Snug those down. Install the wheel, line that up. And get the bolt started. Get all the lug bolts started. Snug those down. Now we're going to torque the lug bolts to 90 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Go around again, double check.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.